Welcome on back if you saw the other one. If not, hello, friends. Hello, friends. Welcome back on the channel. Okay, so this video is going to be about me talking about my sugar cookie and really the joys of a friendship. So hello, I hope you watched my other emotional video before this one, because this one is much more lighthearted and fun. Hopefully it's not too long, but it's a vlog and it's just kind of like a testimonial hello of me and my babe. And so yeah, let me fix that, y'all, because we ain't trying to be okay. So yes, so let me start off by saying friends are great to have. Friends are amazing. You know, first of all, you don't need too many friends. I used to think that because a person had like 25 friends, they were amazing. And if you had like 2 friends, obviously something was wrong with you. Now that I'm older, I see the 2 friends is the people who got it going on. The 25 friends, what's wrong with you? Like, they are not all faithful to you. They are not. But, you know, if you have a big crowd of friends, I'm not shooting you down, you know, because sometimes some of us can thrive with a lot of people. But I've seen personally that to have a good, genuine friend, you might not have like a big circle. And I have been a girl with many friends, and they were anything but that, as we can see, because now we just rolling 1 deep, 2 deep. I don't know. My mom, she's my mom, but she's my friend. Like I know she's my mom, but she is still my best friend. Janice, she's my best friend. So, but like friends outside of familia, I have one. I have a main squeeze. I have somebody who is just, she's there for me. Y'all, let me see that, because this is gonna be a thing, and I don't want this to be a thing. So yeah, I have one main squeeze friend that I love to the end. So let me tell y'all, first of all, I used to pray to the Lord for a sister. I used to always want a twin. I used to always want somebody like me, somebody who dressed like me, you know, and like we could have maybe been different, like in our thoughts, or, you know, like maybe her hair would be a little different, or like her mannerisms. But I used to always want another me, like a sister. I have a brother, you know, and he's great. He's great for who he is. But he's not a sister, and he was older. And so, you know, of course, my mom, she would take me around when I got old enough to start hanging out with friends and stuff like that. And so I would make all of them my best friends. You know, I had 2. One of them, our parents were best friends as they grew up. And so I wanted to, you know, keep that legacy and be her best friend, you know. And there was another girl who, her mom knew my mom, and her mom and the other girl whose moms was best friend with my mom, they knew each other. They were related. And so all 3 of us kind of became friends. But no, they both talked about me behind my back. Any crush that I ever had or that I wanted to have, like, they ruined it. They talked to them, they messed around with them. One of them, she doesn't even know that I know for a fact. I saw it for myself, what she had did to me, but I just never brought it up because I just felt like, if you could do it so easily, what would saying anything to you really do for me? You know? And even on her, I felt even more betrayed, because the day that I found out what was happening, it was like her birthday, and there was so many other girls there, and I felt like everybody else knew about the joke. I was the joke, you know. And so yeah, I never really had successful like high school relationships. The one boy, we're gonna name him Cookie Crisp. There was this boy, he was not black, his name was Cookie Crisp, and he was, at first, honestly, he was like a best friend. Like, I know I'm cheesing, but out of all the friends that I had, he was a damn good friend, you know. He was really cute to me. So obviously, somewhere along the lines, I felt like my friendship was becoming something more. You know, I was young too. I was a young little thing. Like I was like, I got a crush. I was like in what? No, I was in like, yeah, eighth grade. I think ninth grade. Like I'd say it probably was before that. Well, no, it was around that time. Yeah, it was around that time. And so, anyways, basically, um, I told Cookie Crisp. Well, I told my friend, one of my old friends, that I liked Cookie Crisp. Come to find out, she was trying to talk to him too. And she was like, well, you know, like I liked him too. And I'm like, no, you didn't, Janice. Like we talk about the boys you like. He was not on your roster. So I knew it was one of those things because like I liked him, she liked him. And so I was kind of giving him beef about it. And I'm like, are you going to do this? Because if you do this, like, we're never going to be friends again. And he was like, shut up. I don't even like her like that. Like, calm down, pump the brakes. Like, you're tripping, Roberta. Like, calm down. And so he and I, like, you know, we ended up staying friends. She didn't get him, as you can tell. But anyways, I didn't get him either. But he told me the reason why I didn't get him, he claimed, is because his dad was a part of the KKK. And he did not want to go through that at all. I can understand it. We lived in Jasper, Texas. I can't say that he was lying about that because he was probably telling the truth. Because when I told my mom, she was like, that's great. You stay away from him. He stay away from you because if the dad does something to you, I'm going to do something to him. Like, it was a thing. And so, you know, he and I, like, we stayed friends, but he moved and got married to a white lady. So I guess he was telling the truth, Jesus. And so, you know, that was the only friend. But, you know, that's an example of, like, my friends, they say they were my friends. And that wasn't the only time she did that too. In this one, I thought that she was, like, of all the people I had in my life, this one, I thought she was my best friend. I called her sister. I called her twin. We had matching nicknames. Like, she was the one I went to and told all my stuff to. Like, even one time, like, I was trying to tell her something that benefited her because other people were talking about her, but I was the bad guy. You know, I told her what the other people were saying behind her back. I was the bad guy. I was the one in the wrong. And so, you know, even with friendships like that, you got to be careful. But we were all young, man. We were young. I don't hold that against her. I mean, I'm not going to forget about it, but I ain't bitter about it. Like, I hope all of the people from my past are doing well. You know, like, it's life. You thought that was what you needed to do. I didn't need them in high school anyways, because I'm coming to realize truly I had a pick. Life is just so fun. I didn't know I had the pick. So I wasn't as unwanted as a girl would have thought. That's a different story for a different day, Janice. Point is, I've always wanted a best friend. Never found it. And then in high school too, you know, that's when everybody was kind of getting boyfriends. So it was like, if you didn't have a boyfriend, either they had a boyfriend, they were all up in their boyfriend, or they were with their boyfriend and their boyfriend's friends, or they got new friends because of the boyfriends, or they got broken up with, and all of that jazz. So, you know, I just never was a part of it. I didn't sneak out. I was like, my mom is a gangster. I don't want to fight that lady on a good cold day. Like, I'm not sneaking out the house. No, my room was right next to hers. You open the window, she's gonna know. Like, no, I'm not coming outside, Jack. Like, even when she was going, no, I'm gonna just stay at home, you know. And y'all, like, I'm gonna just say it like this. I want to tell this part of the story because this is not to shade her, but to somebody who may be younger, because, you know, you tell young people not to watch your videos, they do it anyways. And this might happen to you as an adult. We don't know. It's different day and age in this time. One of my friends asked me to come over. Bless the Lord, I was on my period. I'm going to tell you why that's a bless the Lord, because we don't ever, I mean, thank the Lord for periods, but we could have did without. It was our fault. We know the story. Point is, my period had came. I was in high school. I had just came back from like a UIL competition, like a solo and ensemble voice type thing. I went to go stay with the friend whose mom was friends with my mom. And so while we were staying there, two people come over, two young thugs. That's what we're gonna call them, two young thugs. You know, I like young thugs, but two young thugs come over, and one of them, he says he's not family, but he is my family. Like, either way you try to skin that cat, you are family. Either you're related to me by my brother or by my. It's a whole thing. He's family. That's the point. He is my cousin. All right. His friend is not. Now I ain't gonna lie. The enemy was busy this day because he knew what he was doing. So in comes these young thugs. One of them has been trying to like clap me since I could be clapped. All right. The other one, I didn't even know he wanted to clap me. I say clap. I don't. He wanted to clap me. I don't know how to say it any other way, friends. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to be as G-rated, but he wanted to clap me. You know. I didn't even know. I knew about the one but my defense to him was always, "Your family." He's like, "No, we're not cousins." Yes, we are, Gerald. I don't care if it's twice removed, three times removed. I don't care if you're the 10th cousin. You're a cousin. Like, no. And so, yeah, I was never like going down that rabbit hole. You're not about to punk me out like that, you know. But the other one was a friend to my cousin, and I could not use the cousin card with him. And y'all, just to paint the pictures, ladies, like, he was brown skinned, he had light brown eyes, like he was like he would look like I don't want to say like a young Roddy Rich. Like, he had the fro. I'm so sorry, sir. I hope you don't ever see it. He had a fro, right? He was light skinned. He fine to me, first of all. But I'm just saying, I don't know who to put this guy in the mind of, bro. But man, because I'm trying to think of like a light skinned like villain. I wanted to say Chris Brown if he had a fro, but I don't know how that one would play out. Point is, he was light skinned, like he was tall. He had like, it wasn't even a big fro. It was like a little, thing going on. He was fine. I'm not gonna hold you. He was fine. Here's the problem. He was dating my cousin. So my cousin is there, but this guy, the friend, is dating my cousin. And so I'm in the room. I go in the room because when I see them, I'm like, no. Like, I'm nervous, and I am the type of person, I'm scary. All right. I used to always hate being told that in school, like, you so scary, you so scared. I am very scary. I will put out of that place. I was out of that place. I will get gone. And so I went into her mom's room because it was like 10 or so that night, and it was just me and her there. So I went in her mom's room. People are really weird. People are just random and really weird. Are you watching me, Sarah Johansson? I can see you. Hang on, y'all. The perks of knowing your job is knowing, like, people need to be where they say they're gonna be. But I was in her mom's room. Yes, just waiting for the guys to leave, right? She's hanging out with him. She's coming back and forth talking. And I will also admit, because I was on my period, I just kind of wanted to lay down. I was cramping really bad. I'm the type of person, like, there's a normal flow, there's a heavy flow, and this whatever the heck else I had after that. Because I'm convinced, even my mom has told me, like, my heavy flow is like double her heavy flow. And it's even worse because I'm anemic. So, or I was anemic. I don't think that, I feel like I still struggle with it because if I get too cold, I'm like, if I don't have my iron, it's horrible. But point is, I was anemic. So before I had really started taking my iron pills and stuff, periods would be very brutal on my body. The cramps, the flow, all of it was just detestable, bro. Horrible. And so I was obviously not feeling it, and then, so she ends up coming into the room and she asks me, I promise I'm gonna get to sugar cookie and all that, but I want to paint this story first. So she asks me, like, she says, like, we're gonna call him Reese's Pieces. She's like, Reese's Pieces is outside, and he wants to know like if you're down, and I'm like, down for what, Cheryl? And she's like, baby, are you down, 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 down? I'm like, no, no, go and tell that boy to go home. It was not for me. So I was like, no, like respectfully, I'm gonna have to decline. And I mean, y'all, here's the reasons, okay? The biggest reason, I am a virgin. You know this, Cheryl. You know, unless you think a lot of them did think I was lying about it. Part of it is my fault because I did mess around and tell some girls that I had slept with two dudes, one that looked like Jacob from Twilight and one that looked like Edward. I did lie. I shouldn't have lied about it. I did lie about it. So I can understand where some people, would have thought that. But this girl in question was supposed to be my best friend. Like, our moms talked together. But she should have known I was a virgin. That's my first point. Second point is, I just told you, Cheryl. No. The second point outside of before this, the person that he is dating is both of our friends. It's not, we all know he's dating her. The whole school know. They should. If they know him, they know she's with him. Like, they are a thing. Like, because he was one of those boys, he was on the football team, like he was popular. You knew about him. Like, you knew his business. And so I knew he was dating my cousin because, first of all, she's my cousin. And, that cousin, she was a cousin that I talked to a lot. She was also somebody who I thought was a friend. Like, we were really, really close at one point in time. There's other tea. Y'all, I'm telling you, sometimes it's like if people really just knew. But all I would say on this regard is, even for her to try to do me like she did me, this is not the only time that somebody she had came my way. So I could have did it to you, Janice. I could have did it to you, but I didn't. I didn't do it. I was a good girl, Lord. We held up, especially this night. So the holding up, I'm like, no, because I can't do that to her. Like, he was fine. Don't get me wrong. I'm like, baby, if you were single, we would have had to had another line of defense. But because he was with her, that was immediately like a shutdown for me, because my loyalties are to her first, because regardless of anything, at that time, she was my friend. And I knew how it felt for your friends to go behind your back and do what, you didn't want them to do. So I was not going to do that to her. I wasn't going to do that to her, even though, I could have got away with it. I could have had everything I wanted. I obviously didn't want it because I would have went after it. So she comes back and she's like, you're not going to do it? And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it. And she's like, come on, man, like, take one for the team. So apparently, y'all, this was the terms and conditions. The only way she got to hit is if I got to hit. Now, I don't know why or how this is going to play out. I don't know if she even thought this through when she told it to me, because now I'm sitting here and I'm like, why would that even... I mean, I guess because, like, he didn't want to be waiting for another person. I don't know. But basically, she was like, well, he said, my cousin told her that if I did not patty cake with Reese's Pieces, he was not going to patty cake with her. So really, they were trying to put me out like that. And I was like, no. And she's like, you're not going to do it? No. I don't care if you trying to get some, he trying to get some, she trying to get some. I don't want none. Y'all can all go and do each other for all I care. I don't have to be a part of it, Lindsay. I don't have to be a part of it at all. And so, yeah, she was like, well, so then I told her, I said, well, remember, baby girl, I am on my period. That's how I tried to, like, bring it back. I was like, I'm on my period. I can't do that, And so she walks out the room and she goes and tells him, because I'm like, girl, you don't remember I'm on my period? Comes back in the room, bro. And like, she tells me, well, he says, if you can't do that, you could just use your mouth. My mouth is precious. My mouth is precious, Lord. I flabbergasted, like, out of this world. I don't know, like, I don't know if I didn't really feel flattered. I felt a little offended. I felt a little bit like, you want to get the, like, I felt a little just, I think more than anything, it's like, dudes really tried to play me in school, in public. Like, they never wanted to acknowledge. I can't say all of them because some of them did flirt, but to me, they were all just being friendly. Now, come to find out years later, it wasn't that they were being friendly. I was just so oblivious in what they were saying. And I don't know if they knew I was oblivious. I kind of feel like some knew, some was just like, oh, okay, she playing. But I did not know, that many people. But he was one of the people who, like, I guess in public, he watched me more than I knew he did. Because I knew of him. I did not know that he knew who I was, especially on that level. And so, especially because he was with my cousin, bro. So I'm like, you see us together all the time. So I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it. Like, I can't do that to her. Like, I'm sorry. Tell him I'm sorry. He feels that way. Like, he was standing at the door to the house, and I don't know if, I think they were outside, yeah, and maybe they had came into the front room, because by the time they came in the front room, I went in the room, and she's like, you don't want to come out and see? He said, come here. I was like, no, I don't want to go out the room. I don't want to go see him. He can't call me. He can't text nobody. Like, no, that was it. So he went home, and I'm pretty sure I ended up going home that night. Like, I don't think I stayed. I was just so like, no, I didn't stay. I stayed that night, and that was the last time I stayed with her. Like, to me, my heart just kind of broke on a different level that night, because it's like, you are the same girl who went after somebody I was messing with at the time, talking to. And I know for a fact that y'all did. The guy don't even know that I know about him and her. I saw the messages, so I know what I'm talking about. I saw it. And so it's one of those things, it's like, you did me like that. And this girl is supposed to be your friend. Even if you're not looking at it at the standpoints of her and I are cousins, she's supposed to be your friend too. I know this because all of us was hanging in the same circle. So why would you then put her out like that? Like, this is her man. You don't care about her feelings. Like, you don't care about her heart. This dude was, let me put it like this. This dude was this dude was this person in questions, from what I know, first, like, experience of womanhood. Y'all, I feel like I'm being so scandalous, and I just, please focus on the story, not the tea. It's a lot of tea. I know it's piping hot. That's why I'm not telling names, but he was her first, like, experience. And it's not for y'all, it's for them, because if they ever come across these videos, because I know some of them do watch, and like, not all of them know all of this went on, because I didn't tell. I'm not the type of person that I'm gonna go and like snitch out a person when they do something like that. I could have, because like I said, it was a lot of them that I'm like, if she knew you was in my phone, like I see you in my phone, oh baby, everybody would be shut down. I'm gonna just say this: every girl who thought they got over on me because they had somebody, know that your man, he came around the mountain. I ain't tell you he came around the mountain, but they tried it for sure. Point is, and you know who I'm talking to, okay? I'm not saying that every person came around the mountain, but some of you, he came around that mountain, girl. You know it. Yeah, I was like, no, I can't do it. I can't do it to her. I don't want to do it to her. It's just not happening. And so, yeah, they went home. And like I said, that broke my heart. A different night. Find it, Shay. Find it, Summer. It broke my heart. I didn't want to go stay with her no more. I was just kind of disappointed because I felt like her loyalties was misconstrued too. And once again, I'm going to reiterate it. That man was fine. He was fine. You can look, just don't touch. And I looked a lot, but we didn't touch. Okay, I will hold myself up. He didn't even get a kiss. He didn't even get a high. I didn't even see his face that night. And I think more than anything, I'm so glad that, like, even when I was younger, the Lord has always talked to me in a way where, like, if he tells me to stay put, I will not move, because I just felt like if I had got in his face, bro, or if I would have even let him close to me, I would have folded. I would have crumbled. I would have melted. Like, baby, if you stroke my ego the right way, I will fall to pieces. I ain't gonna lie. Especially like when I want to be doted on, or like, and you let me get off of it. This is not that. If y'all are down for like more teen stories like that, I got you. Like, we got some scandals from high school. We just don't talk about the scandals that much on the channel. There's never really a need to, but this need is for me to say, I've had some friends who put me in some situations, and it was hard to, one, try to see that it was wrong because they were quote unquote friends, and to let them go even though they had put me in some kind of precarious situation. So just be careful of your friends, of who you hang around, who you consider a friend, because your tribe, they do make or break you. Birds of a feather flock together. Like, those things sound corny, but it is true. Like, you definitely rub off on people. You can definitely get somebody's energy and residue on you, and before you know it, you were so tied to somebody and you're like, Janice, what happened? What? So just be careful. But so I always wanted the best friend. Because those situations did not go well in my life, I've always wondered if I would ever have a best friend. I just kind of never really thought that was possible for me. Because every best friend that I wanted, it just kind of felt like it went to pieces. Hang on. I've had such a long interlude from where I started. But point is, you rub off from people that you hang with, like people you kick it with, like you are the company you keep, right? So I've always wanted a best friend. I've always wanted a person who, like, I felt like understood me. They got me, like they walked life how I want. Well, I end up going to school in San Antonio, bro. San Antonio, Texas. It was 5 hours away from home. I've never been around so many Latino people in one space. I've been around them, but like, they were 2 times what we had in my school. Hello, but it was very different for me. And growing up, just there was a lot of racist things that I heard backhandedly about Black people, Black women. I had my own not so great experiences with Latino men, especially trying to play me. And so a lot of the preconceived notions I had about like Latino people, like I even tried to have best friends who were Latino, and they did me wrong too. And so I ended up stumbling across this girl, and we know her on this channel as Sugar Cookie. We were roommates first, and I don't know what it was about her, and it's so funny because a lot of times I thought she hated me. I didn't think she wanted to be my friend. I didn't think that she was going to want to stick with me, in the long run. And I don't know, I guess because, I had a lot of breakdowns. I was still kind of self-harming, and she was like, well, I hadn't did it in college, but I contemplated it, and she was like, absolutely not. Like, when I told her about, my whole wanting to unalive myself, like, if I would have done it, I would have been in her room, in our room. And that was one of the reasons I could not do it, because I could not have her and my other roommate coming back and seeing me like that, especially her, because I know to her and I were so close and are still so close. It would have devastated her, and I don't know, even after all of that, I've sometimes questioned, like, if I was really, like, a great friend to her. I had this toxic relationship, and so sometimes I would go spend time with her, but I would feel, like, guilty because I was trying to spend time with her and appease her as a friend, but I also had this toxic lover online who basically, if they didn't have my attention, like, 25/8, it was beef, and so that was one part of my life. I felt like I was a horrible friend, because my time for her couldn't solely be for her, but no matter what, she always showed up for me. She's always been by my side. Like, we have been thick and thin. And so I went to school in 2014 and it is 2025 now, and we are still the best of friends. I feel like we kind of get closer each year. And so this trip, I really wanted to see her because I hadn't hung out with her personally since like 2019. We had a other friend that she's an old friend, but for the purposes of this, she's an old friend. And she's no longer neither one of our friends, and we're just gonna let that lie where it does. But I wanted to go see her when I got my big girl job and started adulting. I was like, I want to come see you. Like, I want to come hang out with you. I want to spend time with you because I haven't been able to just do those things with her. And y'all, like, her family, I find it so funny. Her dad and my dad has the same names, okay? And her mom reminds me so much of like my grandma, of my mom at times. You know, like her family is a lot like my family. She even has a brother who acts like my brother. Like, I feel like nobody else mirrors my life. Nobody else has went through nearly as much crap as I have other than her. She knows everything, and like when I say she knows everything, like what I'm feeling, you know, like the things I've went through, and like, yeah, she knows my life. I tell her everything candidly, and I'm so amazed like how our stories kind of parallel. I don't know, I just kind of feel like it's rare when you have a person or a friend who you can be like, you've lived my life, so you understand. And especially with her being a Latina herself, you know, I used to always tell the Lord, like, you know, I want like a sister of color, somebody who understands what it's like to be me. But I guess the older I'm getting, for one, I feel kind of horrible because I feel like that kind of diminishes who she is to me as a person. And I don't ever want to make it seem like Sugar Cookie doesn't understand my viewpoints. I just know, like, if I go to her and I'm like, as a black girl, you know, I went through this. Well, she doesn't really know how it is to be a black girl, Roberta, okay? But she does know what it's like to be a brown-skinned girl, like a colored girl in this world. And so I am more than grateful to share space with somebody who, like, accepts me for me. She is so much like me. We were both walking around her house making the most randomest of noises, and I haven't told her, she'll hear it now, but one time we were walking around and I remember we were both like, chakada pakada bing, pikada pakada boom. And her dad and mom looked at me and I knew it was because I heard her in the other room. And so I knew to them it was kind of amazing. Like, our child's not the only one who does this. No, we share the same brain cell. We literally do. She is my best friend. And so, yeah, like, I wanted to go and see her and spend her big girl birthday with her. She is entering into another milestone of her life, bro. I don't know if she wants me to say how old she is. I mean, I don't think she necessarily cares, but at the same time, once again, it's her business, so I try to limit. But we are close in age. That's all I will say. She is older. She is my older sister. And so, yeah, I got to spend time with her and the dogs, bro. And so I really just wanted to talk to y'all about having a friend. A friend is so important. Having somebody you feel like has your six, somebody you can just confide in. Like, even I was saying on my other video, I feel like the Lord blessed me with another human because he knew this girl was gonna like pitch fits. He knew I was gonna need another person to be like, it's not that deep. And more than anything, what I really love about my connection with her is that I feel like my light for me personally kind of diminished as far as like loving on people and just being gentle and kind and not being so cynical and like not viewing the world, you know, through rose-colored glasses. I had lost that. Like, I started hanging around people who were more cynical. Life was always black and white, you know, their view perspectives of worlds. And especially because they were also women of color or black women, like, I started picking up their notions and ideologies. And, you know, I'm like, yeah, that, you know, like, I was very influenced by what they had to say. And so I kind of feel like she was a gentle resistance always to be like, no, we are not going to think that. Because even now when I tell her just things I went through or things that were said to me, she's like, that's not okay. Like, no, that's, you know, she is very understanding. Like, she told you wrong, you know, and stuff like that. And so it's just really, really nice, man, having a person in your corner, like to talk back to you, to share your hopes and dreams. Like I say, starting this channel, I wouldn't have even started it had it not been, well, for the Lord, first of all, but going with it and continuing with it, I really feel like the Lord gave me cheerleaders in the form of my mom and my best friend. And so I know I talk about her a lot on this channel, but I'm never gonna not talk about her. Like, through everything I've been through in life, she's literally watched me from a young girl to a woman, and I've done the same with her. So, like, she's a part of my life, and I feel like I owe her so much more than words could ever express. And not even like that, but it's like I feel indebted to her in a way, because words, thoughts, actions could never make up for what she's given me from her heart, from herself. Like, she is special to me, and I don't think I will ever, like, the only person I expect to get closer to me than her is like my future partner. But yeah, she knows me, well, like my mom does. They are one in the same brain too, if you ask me, with the way they gently scold me or reassure me. Because if I say that they're gently scolding me, they're like, we're not scolding you, Roberta. Gently reassured me on things. Yes, yes. But I went to see her, and y'all, she is the sweetest thing ever. So she's been wanting to go to this art museum, and I love art museums. I love art. I draw, like, has a shameless promo. We do have, like, what was it called? Oh man, I forgot my own series. I do know late night drawing. I know I have a drawing series on here, bro. That's so horrible that I can't remember my own drawing series. I stopped it for a moment. That's why. But I will put the name in here. But point is, I have a drawing series, so I love art. I've always wanted to go to museums and do cute little things like that. And so she surprised me. I surprised her. I didn't tell her I was going, because in the midst of like moving and everything, I really didn't know what dates, and I kept having to push off dates. And so finally, I just told her very vaguely the night before, like, everything's still in motion. Like, I'll be there to see you. But at this time, she's thinking I'm coming 2 days later. So the next morning, I had called her dad that night. Was like, Papa Bear, like, please don't tell. I'm calling him Papa Bear for the purposes of it, but I was like, Papa Bear, like, well, let's call him something else. Papa Deer. We'll call him that. Papa Deer. I'm like, don't let her know that I'm coming. And so, yeah, I drove. She caught me in traffic, because I always keep my location on with her, so she can always know where I'm at, especially working and stuff. She's very concerned about me, like family does. And so I keep my location on for her at all times, so we'll know where each other is at. But yes, she saw me driving, and like when I got to her, she's like, the jig is up, the jig is on you. But she was still happy to see me anyways, and I could tell she was still flustered and surprised. But I told her, like, part of me was gonna cry had she not been surprised, because like I had worked so hard, and I've never wanted to surprise somebody like that before. But I went and got her flowers and a card, and like I gave her this little dragon thing that I got from church. It's like a little marble. You can put it on the stand and roll around. It's very cute and therapeutic. It has a marble in it to keep it weighted, and I wanted it for myself, but I was like, nah, Sugar Cookie deserves this. Like, it reminded me of her. It was just so cute. But so, yeah, I spent time with her, and y'all, we had so much fun. Like, we went to this art gallery. Like, I'm gonna include pictures, videos, and everything. So people were peopling. All right, people just be peopling in the weirdest of ways in public, bro. It couples, and like, let me also say, I want people to look at my TikTok views too. I get it. You're out here living life. You want to be aesthetically pleasing. Please keep in mind though, at exhibits, you are not the only one at this exhibit. There's other people here trying to get pictures too. Okay, Susie Salad. Okay. And Mr. Croutons. We all want to take pictures out here. So get out the way, bro. That's all I'm going to say on that one. But there was a lot of beautiful art museums, and just, I was trying to explain to my best friend, she thinks she just gave me like an art museum experience, and like she just shared stories with me. Like, I don't know how to convey to her what that day was for me, because for the first time ever in my mind, I feel like somebody truly considered me. There was no ands if or buts. There was no making me feel bad about anything, or like, I'm doing this for you, I'm paying for you type of thing. Like, she just did it for me. I didn't even know she was gonna do it. And like, yes, she wanted to go, but she considered me. She took me to something that was like her favorite. Like, she wanted to bond with me, and she knew that I would love it as well. And so, yeah, it was really nice, y'all. Like, I don't have too many people who've ever made me feel special, and so she really did. Like, the joys and the jokes we share with each other, like, even knowing more about her personally. And she tells me some of the same stories over and over again, but I love the way she tells stories. So I love listening to her stories, bro. I love her story times. And so just being with her, I just felt refreshed. I felt like I was living a dream. I don't know how to explain it, but it was one of the most happiest days of my life. And I remember, like, I was so distraught when I went because I caught my period. I was like, Lord, why of all times? And I figured it was going to happen because ladies, I mean, guys are like, what? But typically it's at the end of the month, for me, my cycle. But when, like, for instance, when March and February come around, it's kind of thrown off because we don't have 31 days. So like your body, but anyways, my body was like, you thought, Sarah? I still came on. And so yeah, I was on my period, but thank the Lord it was not bad at all. And y'all, it was just really nice. So let me talk about the river walk really quickly because I did want to tell y'all about that. So that, first of all, man, San Antonio Riverwalk has gotten thuggish, ruggish out here. It didn't used to be like that, okay? It used to have vendors down there, sweet people walking dogs and stuff. Trenches, okay? We got told about a man who had a pipe. My friend is convinced that he had something in his pants. I just saw hands in his pants and I didn't want to see any more. I was like, absolutely not. While this is going down and he's telling us about the pipe in his pants, pockets, whatever, that wants him to do right and wrong, there's a group of kids that are teenagers, they are following us on the opposite side. And I'm like, what do you think you're gonna do? Like, y'all are 10 compared to us big girls. Like, I may like look pretty on the day that is today, but I will beat you down in these flats, bucko, in them. But that was going on, and I knew. So I was very socially aware of my surroundings. Let me just put it like that. So their voice is carrying, and I do have good ears. I can't lie. Sometimes it depends on the context. In this instance, I already knew and saw them. They were familiar faces that kept walking with us. So I'm like, you're following us. I even told my friend at one point, they were like, what are they doing? Running? No, but our legs are long. So why are you trying to keep up with us, Roberto? So we ended up going on this Riverwalk boat ride, right? And they're telling us like about the history of San Antonio, and y'all, it's some dark things going on downtown at the Riverwalk. I was like, I did not know this. Like, they didn't put this in the history books. Some cool facts were pointed out too, but some of the stuff I was like, it's rough down here, people. And so our tour guide, she was really lovely, man. Like, she was amazing. I could have got on her boat ride again. Like, I could have kept paying her just to hear her talk to me. Like, she was just that amazing, and she was a Texas native like me and my friend, and we were shocked that we were the only two on the boats who were Texans. I'm like, what? And so as we get off the boat, after we done seen everything, I'm gonna talk about this because y'all, I told the Lord, I'm like, listen, I just one interaction with the guy. Like, just give me something, Lord. I don't flirt with people. I don't have interactions. So yeah, I told the Lord, I'm like, just one compliment, God, just a booster, like, of, because my family tells me I'm the bum.com all the time, but like, I want to hear it from the other species, like, it just is a mood booster. Like, I know who I am, but I just, let me be gentle, because, all right, in a few next minutes, I can eat a bag of noodles and be like, you're horrible. No, but for real, like, I believe I'm pretty. I believe I'm beautiful, but it is nice to hear from, like, an opposite person who's not your family. Like, girl, you got it going on, especially, like, when you're single, you've been single. I've been single for some years, and so it's like, it is a nice booster because I haven't always felt like that, and I finally shedded weight how I want to thus far. And so I was like, God, like, I want to start dating. So I'm like, a little interaction, a little mood booster to like putty, to get the confidence going, to work on talking to men and not running away from them, all that jazz. And so the first guy told me on the Riverwalk, he's like, your hair is beautiful. And I'm like, oh, he sent me swinging, y'all. And I'm like, oh, thank you. And he's like, no problem. And I was telling my friend, I didn't even see his eyes. So I don't want to just be like, this man was beautiful. But like physics wise, I was like, hello, can I get on your boat? I don't know. He probably only liked the hair. My mom was like, it was you. It wasn't the hair. But I mean, my mom does a good job on my hair. So I'm like, it could have been a little bit of both, Sarah. But I do make the hair. I make the hair. And so after that, I was already glowing from that. I'm like, this is enough, because a lot of people, they were not telling me about my hair. Like, I don't know, it's really weird, but a lot of people, instead of just complimenting me, they'll just stare me upside my head. And I'm like, you ain't ever seen a black girl with braids before. And if you think that they're nice, a compliment goes a long way, Jesus. But I digress. So I'm glowing from that. And I'm like, okay, like that's my one interaction. Like, especially because the dress I wore, I've been wanting to wear it forever. And I wore it one time when I first graduated high school. And after that, I couldn't fit it. And then when I did start to get back in it, it was only really for the purposes of cosplays and stuff, because I didn't have nowhere to go and I didn't feel that confident in it. Like I wanted to lose more weight. So now that I have the body for it again, it just felt really, really nice to be able to, wear that dress again. And so we are passing by this policeman, bro. And he's like, something along the lines of excuse me, miss, are y'all reserving for the weekend? And I'm like, oh, no, thank you. Just waving them off because people have been trying to get our attention. And I'm the type of person, even if people, they're trying to talk at me, I don't want to be rude and ignore them. We're all walking. We see you, see me, see you walking. Talk to somebody, say something. If you're not interested, just politely say no and go. But so anyways, he goes something are y'all gonna get on a boat ride again tomorrow? And so then it's clicking in my mind, but it's not clicking in my mind. 2 + 2 is kind of 10 to me. Because when I told it to my friend, she's like, so I looked at him and I'm like, no, ma'am. I said no, ma'am, to this fine policeman. Y'all, he was beautiful. Oh my gosh, sir, I don't know if you're going to ever come across this. I'm so sorry I called you, ma'am. It was the heat of the moment. You had a female officer next to you. You were standing there. You were a little bit too fine for me in that moment. I broke. I told my friend, all he would have had to do was been give me them digits. Would have been given to him. I wanted to go commit a crime. Who paper bowl can I go knock over real quick so he'll handcuff me? That'd be the start of our love story, Lord. It was just crazy, y'all. So I look at him and I'm like, no, ma'am. And immediately everybody starts laughing and I throw my hand up and I'm like, I'm so sorry, no, sir. And I can't help but laugh too, because I'm realizing I just called. And even it wasn't even that I had embarrassed him. For me, I had embarrassed myself, bro. I called this man a ma'am in front of people. I didn't mean to disrespect you like that. I don't know. And so then when I told my friend about it, oh, I'm a little warm. When I told my friend about it, she was like, when I told my friend about it, she was like, so that means he was watching us on a boat. And I was like, he was watching us on the boat. Yeah, he was watching. I don't know. People, I don't ever really assume that people pay me too much of mind or attention. It's really weird, especially to be on YouTube to say that. But I don't. In a normal setting, walking around amongst people, I see people seeing me. But I guess, let me put it like this. On the riverboats, I never thought people paid them much attention because I'll look at the people in the boats, but it's always so crowded and it's always a lot of them and 2 of us walking. So y'all, it's more y'all than me. So I just mind my business. And on that day, I was with her. I was looking at the people. I knew people were on the boat probably looking at us. And I'm like, okay, just let them look. But I didn't think that they were looking, So when we got off and he said that, I'm talking about when I look at him, he had his hands on his police, the vest, it said police on his chest. He was clean cut and shaved. He looked like he was when I say big boy, I mean he looked like he worked out and stuff. And I was just and you tan too, como se llama, everything. Tell me your name, sir. So yes, I hope you can tell that we were impressed. Okay, he was fine. So to even have him acknowledge you, I'm like, dang, Lord, you came through for your girl. Because I believe that the Lord is going to bless me with a beautiful husband. So, yeah, I want to it is nice talking to other attractive people who think you are attractive. And you have to be careful with that because I want an attractive partner, but I don't want them to be horrible on the inside. But that man, he seems soft and sweet. I don't even know. Okay. I was just his calling out to us. It was funny because when I looked at him, we locked eyes, and I think that caught me off guard too because normally when I'm with my friends, I expect my friends to get the attention because it always feels like that's what it is. And I think that I just have that mindset because I'm bigger, or I was bigger than a lot of my friends. So I always felt like the fat, ugly friend. And it just didn't really feel, and because my friends are beautiful. All of my friends, even though we're not talking no more, all of my friends have been some beautiful girls. Like, I will never not say that about them. Every one of them has been beautiful in their own way. And so, yeah, of course, I've always felt like I'm not like pretty like them, and I've had to work on that. And so to have this moment where this guy is looking at me and not my friend, like we are locked eyes. Now, if she would have turned around, I don't know. He probably would have been looking at Roberta too, because she's, I call this girl everything. She's beautiful, but I don't know. I just, it's hard for me to have victories. Can you tell that? Because I always want to be like, well, maybe this is why. But point is, there was a moment there I felt like it was had, okay, at least on my end. But yeah, he was fine. Yeah, he was fine. I was just like, oh, I could not go back on the boat ride. So even when I told my mom, she was like, he had been watching y'all. And she was like, he should have known he need to make his moves quick. Like, you got to move quick when you're dealing with Shay. I don't always know. I don't always know because to me, that interaction could have been like, oh, he was just being friendly or nice, or, he was talking to me. But I felt like in that time and space, I knew without a shadow of a doubt, like it was a us thing going on. And I was like, okay, I'm feeling it. And so, yeah, it was really a great time. I mean, outside of that, I couldn't have got no guy interactions, and I would have been happy because all the things me and her did, like right up my alley. She took me clay painting. I've always wanted to go clay painting. All right, and I'm only not saying like the names of locations because she does not. I mean, if people ask me, I'll tell you. I'm gonna hands down tell you. How about this? If you want to know where we went, DM me on Instagram and I'll let you know. It's just certain people try to like come at us in weird ways and do what we do for whatever reason we don't know. And so this is a thing for us where it's like, we don't want you trying to be a part of what we're being a part of. Like, don't come and do it. I mean, they'll probably find a place anyway, but it won't be on my court. But if you want to know where it was, all I'm gonna say is it was in San Antonio. It was clay painting. It was really, really fun. We went to go see the monkey, which I could have shot my own self in the foot for that one because it was not horror filled, but the action was there. It was grotesque, so please watch that at your own discretion. It was more funny though than like horror related. And then, I spent time with her family. I spent time with my sobrina, Luna. I love her. All right. She can do no wrong. She can do no wrong in this life or the next. Like, she is my baby. Like, I loved being able to just rub on her and love on that kid. She is like a little girl in a dog's body, and it's so funny to me. And then we ended up doing tie-dye shirts. And Sugar Cookie hates hers, but I love mine. Okay, I love sugar cookies. I've tried to reiterate it to us, but she's told me and her parents and everybody else, like, no, it ain't happening, Cheryl. So she's gonna redo her shirt. But yeah, like I say, and then of course, if you see the other video, the day after was just complete. The day after I left her, or the day I left her, was just complete pandemonium. And so it was really fun, y'all. Like, the Lord blessed me with everything I wanted. He blessed me with an amazing trip. He blessed me with like time with my friend. Like, she took me on a little food excursion to this like place where you can drive in, and like, they have little benches outside of stuff you can eat out there. But it was raining on us, so we like sat in the car, waited for the food, and shared a funnel cake and ate burgers. But then she took me to the store called Daiso, and they had Japanese snacks, and I made the video about that. And yeah, we just did cute little things about like that. So I wanted to make a vlog and just recapture my moments in San Antonio, like my trip with her, the fun I had by myself. And let me just reiterate to, like, anybody who may be struggling with self-confidence and all that jazz, you are beautiful. I know sometimes it feels just like words. I know about it, but you are beautiful. And if you don't think you're beautiful, like your glow, your radiance about yourself is not gonna shine. So the other world's not gonna see you in that light. Sometimes they will, but I feel like your true beauty unleashes when you're truly at confidence and you're truly at peace with the Lord, with yourself, and so there used to be moments even with Sugar Cookie, when I was bigger. I used to be jealous of her because she was smaller, or I'd be like, man, she's so pretty. Like, I'd envy her. Like, why can't I look like that? And I mean, we both got bigger. Like, we both had our own sets of insecurities to deal with. But from the outside looking in, it just seemed like prospectively at the time, her life was better. And that was a bad way of viewing it because she's always been my best friend and she's always been my right hand. Even in my midst of jealousy, I've never wanted to see anything bad happen to her. It was more or less like, you're amazing and I wish I was amazing as you. But I see all along, she's always thought that to me. Like, she's always held me in that regard. So to be with her now and for both of us to have better mentalities about life, about each other, about self, it just felt nice to be with her and not feel like I was competing, not feeling like anybody was jealous of me or wanting of me, or wanting of my experiences, like we both got to have our own experiences and moments. And, even for her birthday, this one waiter, he was laying it on thick. And I'm like, her dad is right here, Paco. You are about to die. And we were talking about that because while she had that going on, like I'm stressed and worried about my period. I'm wondering if this dress is given. Like, of course it's given. It's Dohi Sama. But, I'm wondering if it's given. I look across the table. There's two young Arnold Schwarzeneggers. They wasn't that, but the point is, I was trying to Leonardo DiCaprio. That's who I was trying to call him, Lord. Because thank you for bringing it back to my mind. But yeah, I don't know how young. So part of me was like, don't do it. I don't want to go to jail. But if they were working, I don't know. But looking at them, I would assume that they were around our age. Assumptions can get you in trouble, okay? But we're not going to dwell in that because I don't want people to be like, oh. But point is, I was still getting interactions and love in my own way. Like, I know I was making heads turn. I seen it for myself, and so, yes, it was just, like I said, it was nice. It was nice to feel like a young lady. It was nice to have time with her and to just get to do, all of the things. So if you have a best friend, if you have somebody in your life that's riding with you, that's hanging with you, keep a hold on to them. Love them, man. Keep them close because they are your six. Like, they gonna protect you at all costs. People ain't gonna be able to tell them nothing about you. They gonna be like, no, we good over here. Like, I know who I got, and that's how we are. Like, when the other person left our life, it kind of feel like she tried to burn up everything in flames, including me and this friend. And I was like, no, like, you don't get to do that. Like, this is my six right here. And so she will always be that for me. She will always be my right hand. Like, I feel like nothing will ever tear us apart because we've lived so much life together. So please be encouraged. Like, it is possible to have a great best friend. It is possible for the Lord to live in your best friends. Like, he forms our connections anyway. So he will bring the right people in your life. And it don't got to be 5 million. It can just be 5. It can just be 2. Be grateful for who the Lord gives you because some people don't even have 2. Some people don't even have 1. Some people going crazy, not even knowing if they're right or wrong about life. But if you have somebody who is there with you every step of the way, praise the Lord for them. Bless the Lord for them and be grateful that he saw it fit for you to have somebody, a companion, a partner, a friend, somebody in your corner cheering you on when you need to hear those human voices talking back to you. So be encouraged. God is always for you. He's always fighting with you. He will give you the best of times if you truly trust him and put your hands in him. So happy birthday again to my sugar cookie. Thank you for all the laughs. Thank you for such a fun trip. I cannot wait to have more with you. And thank you for just always letting me be my best self. Thank you for always being being your best self with me and for being goofy and doing the things that only we can do. How we do them, because it's an us thing. But to the rest of you listening, thank you so much for viewing. I hope I could give you some giggles, some encouragement, some something. Don't call people ma'ams. Think before you speak, okay? Because that could be your husband and you just disrespected him in front of the whole Riverwalk. Oh, the Lord does love and bless you. May He keep you. I believe you. I love in you. And I hope whenever you view this, you have the most incredible of days or the most amazing of nights. Goodbye, guys.